Alright, we up? We actually running?
We'll see. Keep an eye on it.
Michael, we're relying on you, man.
Trusting ya.
Give us a big old call when you see us go down. Because it's going down. I'm wondering if it just needed a hard reset. Now, did we fix the initial problem?
Yeah.
Probably not, but
Did
who
we
knows?
Fix the first
Did
issue?
it sound like it before we died?
I couldn't tell. It started to buffer.
Yeah.
So.
And with us being in the room talking, it's kind of not the easiest. All right. So this Grand Prix, KCI gets the 4 wins in a Grand Prix. That's usually a death sentence for a deck. Matt Nass gets his 4th win with it. So, or 4th top 8. He got 3rd place, first place, 4th place. I mean, you can't just run that hot. It's not just him running hot. The deck is degenerate. It's busted.
Yeah, and at this point, everyone's kind of figured out that it's almost a gross misuse of the rules in the amount of understanding required to operate this deck is at way too high of a level for it to be viable enough to exist in the format.
People have just got to be sick of it as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm curious a little bit more on this blue-white control deck. Let's see how they attack.
The audio sounds good to me
KCI.
Right now, so I'm going to stop listening. But if it goes down again, someone else let me know.
Yell at us.
Yeah, please.
Through the chat that I don't have open. Let me pull that bad boy up here. Wicked quick. Lickety split. Wicked quick. Boom. 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 Boom.
Casey, let's see here. 2 detention spheres, interesting. 4 paths, 4 terminus. So this is the terminus build still.
Yeah, this is
JTMS.
We've been seeing this all last year.
Right.
Interesting that it's still doing this well against KCI.
I think the double logic knot really helps. Having that quick interaction spell between Mana Leak and Logic Knot is pretty good use for that flex slot there.
So Rest in Peace is brutal. So it's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards out of the sideboard that it will be bringing in.
Yup.
Just to combat it. That Terminus is good against Psy.
So if I was against KCA right now, I'd board in 2 negates, 3 Rest in Peace, 2 Stony Silence. Probably you don't need the Dispel. They don't run instances, sorceries, just artifacts. Yeah. Surgical. 3 Rest in Peace, 2 Stony Silence, and a Surgical for the KCI decks.
I'd be playing the V-Click. Interruption and
Fair.
I mean, you yank that Psy on their draw step, lights out. Yeah. All right. So, next part of the year, right after this, KCI is banned. Mm-hmm. It was over.
Yep. Same thing we admitted before, where it was just like way too difficult of a play pattern. You're basically playing against Solitaire. They start going off and you maybe have an instance to interact. Mm-hmm. That's about it. So, yep, the deck needed to go.
Eggs 2.0.
Yep.
Like, get rid of it.
Yep.
First big set of the year.
Ravnica Allegiance comes out on January 25th. Not a lot of crazy cards from this set. There really wasn't a ton. The big things that came out were honestly like some of the more tool cards or the screw the critics, light up the stage, the spectacle cards.
Rhythm of Wild. No.
I don't think it's still play, but
hopefully we get proven wrong in the top 8. That'd
be funny.
Same with Terramander. Like I really like that card.
Mm-hmm.
I just never really got played. I think maybe one day it'll show up.
Mm-hmm. Lavinia Azorius Renegade sees a lot more play later too. It's definitely like a good sideboard card. I like that card a lot.
It's just about the most played card out of the list here. Hydro Crisis is decent, but
Deputy Detention saw a lot of play in Humans.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spear the Critics.
Yeah,
you said that. I'm sorry. Like, okay, no, that definitely gets played a lot.
Right. Yeah. And then Electro Dominance saw play with something. I think like Living Index or trying it for a while, or like some of the free cast spell decks.
It might have been the restore balance list.
Yes,
That
yeah,
might
they're
have been it.
Electro Dominance Balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, or they were playing their Greater Gargadons and then just sacking all their lands and restore balancing, and getting a Greater Gargadon out of it.
Restore or Electro Dominance was kind of a scary card to get print because it was one of those first times that, other than the Cascade spells, that it's like, oh, these free spells are a bit iffy.
Mhm.
Like, what are we gonna do here? And a little later in this year, you're gonna see what you can do with
Oh yeah,
the free magic spells.
yeah, because Electro Dominance was cool because you could just cast it for 0 and still get like one of the suspend cards, like Ancestral Visions off of it. So
That with As Foretold, those kind of builds.
Mm-hmm.
When you said when you posted Shock's reprint, I thought you meant a Shock reprint. I was like, who gives a shit? It was like, oh, the new set that's coming out,
Yeah.
Murders at Karlov
Manor. Yeah.
They were doing like
Shock reprint.
Shock reprint.
Whoa!
Holy shit! You have way better.
Give me a
Shocks
fucking
in the
play
format.
with fire. Play with fire.
Or how about Lightning Bolt? Let's bring it back.
Did you see that Lightning Helix art though?
I did, but
I love it. I think it's super hot. I'm a huge fan.
OG ones.
Ugh.
My Blitzschlags.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
My German. I have one German one. OG.
So right after the set, Grand Prix Toronto, February 10th. Lanternless.
Wait, what the fuck?
What is this deck? Are they just not playing Lantern? This is just like an artifact control list, I guess?
This looks right up my alley too.
Yeah, this is like artifact lockdown control, basically. So Lantern without the lanterns.
Alright, so how are we going in here? This card, most
Mirror
likely.
It. Yep. Oh yeah.
Crucible of the Worlds in that card. Yep.
Yep. You just play it, sack it, play it, sack it.
So it's a land that you can pay to tap it, sack it. Target player mills 4 cards, and so you just keep reoccurring that with Crucible of the Worlds, and you mill them out while you lock them out with like Chalice of the Void and Ensnaring Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Plays a lot of similar cards.
Sorcerer's Spyglass is even running to like get the land or like see it in the hands and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Witchbane Orb to protect yourself. What does Bottled Cloister do? I don't actually know.
It's an extra draw spell, so you like remove your hand from the game under it, and then during your turn, like your upkeep, you draw another card, and you return your hand back to your. Okay, here it is. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, exile all cards from your hand face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, return all cards you own exiled with Bottled Cloister to hand, and then draw a card. So that if they blow it up, you lose your hand.
Yeah.
But it's a card advantage spell.
Yep.
Phoenix
again. They're running 2 Terramanders. Look at that.
They're trying it out.
I don't think it was just trying it out. I think in the Phoenix shell, Terramander was incredible. Like the ability to just, because you're pitching all these instances of sorceries into this Phoenix, but then you've also got Terramander as a backup that you slam it for 1, and then you can almost instantly turn it into a 5/5?
Yeah, 2 mana 5/5.
Yeah,
potentially. It's a little high cost, like that 7 mana or 7 instants and sorceries. It's like now you got Murktide. Murktide is just nothing compared to it.
Right before Modern Horizons, though, I think this card was pretty sweet. I remember picking him up, and I was like, "This is a cool card. I think I would play this."
It's a Salamander Drake, and it's like a better Delver of the Secrets.
Yeah. Not
really, but in my mind at the time it was.
Hey, it turns into a 5/5, so
it eats Delvers.
Yeah.
Valakut. I haven't really looked at this list in a while, but not much has changed.
They're running red for like splashing a lot of red for removal. You can tell that the creature based decks are getting ahead because this deck should not be boarding it. Have main board lightning bolts and flame slashes.
Lightning bolt isn't too bad. The flame slashes are a little.
And anger
weird.
of the gods main board too. I didn't see that.
Oh, fair, very fair.
Yeah.
Dredge. Rearing its little ugly head. It's gonna really take over here in a few weeks or a few months in this year.
Yeah. This is kind of its final form.
No Terramander playing the. Oh, so did it move the Pyromancer's Ascensions out for Terramanders?
Must be.
That must have been this.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Which makes sense. That's fair trade, I think.
The Rock, I like these lists
Mm-hmm.
back in the day where it's just a clean black green list. You didn't fool around with a third color.
Yep. Still running that one of Lily the Last Hope. She's sticking in there, even in 2019. Our baby holding it together.
Taking turns is bringing up the end of the
butt end.
The butt end, which we saw like multiple tournaments last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto,
Los Angeles, March 2nd.
Did you do any team events? Did you pull any of those up?
I think a couple of these might be team events actually. Okay. I'm not sure. Some of them have like maybe 4 or 5 decks listed. So,
I mean, it's a fairly healthy meta game here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Arclight Phoenix isn't, or is it Phoenix isn't a crazy deck that I don't think everybody's like super pissed if they have to play Phoenix all day. I think it got to a point in Pioneer, but
it was the red blue deck of the time.
Yeah.
Like of the 2018, 2019 kind of era, that was the red blue deck.
Absolutely.
So
hardened scales, more and more hardened scales, even though Mox Opal's still in the format. I didn't expect hardened scales to become popular until after that point.
Well, what is it missing right now that it doesn't have like in the later sets? MH2 gives it stuff, right? Like Urza Saga.
Oh yeah.
And
it doesn't play Steel Overseer anymore.
No, that's too slow.
Our friend and ally, Robert Litfin, he won a Nerd Rage Gaming tournament. I think it was like a 5K or something big. He won it with one of these lists.
Oh really?
Yeah.
This deck I've never tried to play Hardened Scales before because it is so much math. It is so much fucking math, and you have literally like an infinite amount of play patterns. Especially once you get like a couple different creatures that do different things on the board.
Oh yeah.
With modular, and then MH2 also gets Zabaz. That's a big one.
That is very big.
That changed a lot. So I remember playing Death and Taxes, and I got him pretty well locked out, and he had to do the math. We sat there and did the math for like a solid 5 or 10 minutes because he was 1 point off of killing me. He was 1 point short, and I was like, if you find that 1 point, I'll let you have it, but like you gotta find it. And he didn't find it, and I killed him with a.
Did you have like Sony Silence on the field, or?
How'd
you lock him out that hard?
I had like enough stuff on the board, and he just didn't have the creature base to try to fight it back.
He couldn't shoot it all into a walking ballista and kill you with it.
Yeah, he didn't have a ballista.
That makes sense. Animation module turned into the Zapaz. The Steel Overseers have turned into some. Oh, it's a 2-colorless artifact creature. It's a 1/1 with Ward 2.
Automaton.
Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a 1/1 counter on it.
Yep.
So it plays more and more into that 1/1 counter. And then the Ozolith is a pretty big inclusion.
Yes, the Ozolith and the second Ozolith, the Ozolith Shattered Spire now.
They are playing that, aren't they?
Right, yeah.
Because of the legendary effects on stuff.
Yep.
Dredge is not exciting to me because it's
got the creeping chills in there now. Yep.
Yeah.
This is like final form for until Faithless Looting gets banned, pretty much. Another Hardened Scales.
Mm-hmm.
This one's playing animation modules, which is cute. So.
Yeah, the last one was as well.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah. All of them were. That was about the right number. So here we got Grixis Death Shadow again.
Mm-hmm. I think
if I wasn't playing Is It Phoenix in this format, I'd probably be playing the Death Shadow list. I like it a lot.
I think I almost had this exact deck list built at one point. Like maybe one more Faithless Looting and one less Gurmag Angler. That was pretty close to my list.
Death Shadow players, just wait until you get Luris. Luris.
I don't think I actually played Luris that much with Death Shadow.
Actually, I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
Maybe in the white black fairies to show up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty similar list we're seeing through most of the year. Like the format's gotten consistent at this point. Wow. Yeah. So seeing a huge emergence of graveyard synergy decks. So there's three dredge decks in the top. What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the top 8, there's 3 dredge decks. 4 is a control decks.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
5.
in top 8?
In the top 8, 2 is a control deck. 2 is it Phoenix decks. 3 dredge decks in the top 8. Excuse me.
The lantern list artifact control list got second place again, which is pretty cool. But a lot of people hated playing against it. I'm sure they were like they thought it was lantern and they thought they could do the play patterns like that, and then they like get an edge on their opponent because they're playing into a whole another deck.
Mm-hmm.
Same idea of like, oh, ensnaring bridge lock you out, but
Yeah.
for welding jars, I don't think lantern control is playing
Welding
welding
jars? No, not really.
Four
Maybe,
of them.
maybe like 1 or 2, they'd throw them out on the field, and then whenever you target their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I barely remember playing against this deck. I did not see it very much, and it's not very memorable to me.
Yeah, same.
Like I
This
know
is
it
a
existed.
little more up my alley because the Crucible, the World's Mill bullshit. But
you played that in one deck list at one point, didn't you? Like either KCI list or something.
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, I just remember the Ipnir Rivet being like a weird, stupid combo, like a Crucible Worlds combo.
Yeah, everyone, you should hate it. It fuels dredge, but until they conflagrate your ass out of the game,
Yeah,
freaking chill you to death. Sad world.
So here they're back to the Pyromancer's Ascensions again.
Yeah, and the first place list was similar.
Okay.
Death Shadow is running Monastery Swift Spear. So
this is a green list.
This is like almost a zoo list playing 4 Teamer Battle Rages.
Suicide Zoo, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I would call this one.
And then Dredge, Valakut.
Burn.
The top. Oh, holy shit.
What's the burn list look like right now? So I think
it's got to be playing the. Yeah, it's playing the Skewer the Critics.
Skewers, yep.
Lightning Helix. So it's still working a little bit out, but it got smart right away with Skewer the Critics.
Yeah, that card is really strong.
There's 2 more lantern list control decks in the top 16. Mm-hmm. They're towards the bottom, but again, I didn't expect to see much. I don't remember that deck at all.
Nope, me neither.
Oof.
Wow.
Well, good game, game, Phoenix.
You had your run.
We're looking at Death Shadow. Is it Phoenix, Hexproof, and then 3 Phoenix? So that's the 4 in the top 8 of a Grand Prix.
Yep.
That's the death nail.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
Yeah. Lantern Control getting played by Sam Black, and then Eli Cassis. Man, I just did not realize he's been on a fucking ton of GP wins.
Yeah.
Or top 8s.
Sam Black too.
Well, yeah.
Lantern. He's playing Lantern though.
I expected Sam Black to be on here a lot. He plays a lot of the fringe cool decks like Lantern Control.
What's Cassis's list look like? I'm kind of curious where they're at right now. So they've gone into the 4 Manamorphose now, and they're like all in on the just get the Phoenix out in like turn 1, turn 2.
We're playing 3 Thought Scours. I don't know if I like that. Surgical Extraction main deck.
Board.
So he's ready for the fucking mirror.
Yeah.
Echoing Truce is another cool tech card. We saw this in a list in the last Grand Prix that we looked at. Mm-hmm. You're either Echoing Truce or is it Phoenix back to their hand to kind of stall them out for 2 turns to get their Phoenixes off the board. It also deals with Dredge pretty good. So you get, I don't think they have prized amalgams, but whatever creatures they're doing, you just flick them right back to their hand.
They still do in this time, I think. Or you could even bounce your own Snapcasters if you wanted to.
Very true. Yeah. They cut the Terramander bullshit and the Pyromancer's Ascension specifically for Snapcaster Mage, which allows them to diversify their spell.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you're running Pyromancer's Ascension, you want 4 4 4 4 4 4 4.
Mhm.
Playing ops over Thought Scours, I don't like that. But hey, you did pretty well with it either way.
Yeah, you made it to a top 8 of Grand Prix, so it's pretty cool.
Pretty similar list here. Let's see the first one.
Everyone's running
They're
surgical
playing
extractions.
surgical.
You know what? I really remember this year. I remember why I remember this year. Because surgical extractions spiked to almost $30 a piece.
Yeah, there's like the point where surgicals were like 70.
Yeah.
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 It might have been around this time too.
Oh
It
yeah.
might have been.
It had to, because this is, we go into the Faithless Living ban. We get Hogak, the Vengevine deck show up, Hogak deck show up, Bridge from Below gets banned, Faithless Living gets banned, Hogak gets banned, and then the surgical extractions go down in price.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I think around this time too, people were really looking at the Phyrexian mana spells that were left, and it's just everybody's kind of like, oh no, are we gonna have to ban all of them? Because shit, man, like
they're such big enablers.
yeah. Does Noxious Revival only target cards from your graveyard?
That's a good question.
Let's see here. Put a card from a graveyard on top of its owner's library.
No, it does not.
I'm surprised they weren't playing this in Phoenix decks to bounce. Like they go to hit their third spell, it's your turn. You flip their Phoenix back on top, and it triggers your Phoenixes to come out and kill. Attack them.
Yeah, or be able to end step like Metamorpho, put your Metamorphos back on top of your deck, draw it, and then just go off from there or whatever too.
Yeah.
Noxious Revival is honestly a card that I'm surprised doesn't see more play in Modern because of how powerful it feels.
It makes more. It kind of makes sense to me in these builds.
And maybe
more than surgical. Not so much, but
maybe I remember some lists that were running like Mutagenic Growth and or Noxious Revival for that potential with the free cast spells.
Like that instead of Gut Shot here, because I don't think they're playing Gut Shot.
No, they're not even running it.
List, but some of them were. Why would you play Gut Shot over the Noxious in a field of Arclight Phoenixes and Dredge? You're resetting that card in both situations.
Snapcaster Mages, I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't seem half bad.
Yeah.
But I do remember at this time people were kind of looking at them like we look at the evoke creatures now and go, fuck, are these all a mistake? Should we have are these just all worth banning? Should we get rid of them? I mean, we grew out of that stage, but
yeah,
because of power creep.
Yeah, but... not by choice.
Don't create formats that enable free magic to be as good as it is.
Is this an actual Lantern control list? Yeah, Lantern Insight. Okay.
Yeah, nothing too big. They're using the Crucible World stuff.
We on Tampa or Sao Paulo?
Sorry. Okay, so we just did this one. Tampa.
Sao Paulo.
Holy shit.
Wait. This is the Tampa. I messed up.
Classic.
Yeah. See, they even got the names on the links, the hyperlinks there, and I messed that one up.
All right. Well, fuck,
there you go. Uh, 2019.
Yeah, top songs. That's what I'm looking for. Top 8.
Top 80.
Shit, man.
It's because of you put in Grand Prix. Try MTG. There you go.
Boom shakalaka. Wait.
Here. No, you can get to it from there. It's down there. Sao Paulo, 2019, on the right. Down. Nope. Right there. Up.
Oh,
we got there.
All right. Oh.
Two, yes, two. Only two is a Phoenix list
All right,
this time.
and don't panic.
Yeah.
It's still.
Yeah.
What do they got against Phoenix, man? Like
Surgicals.
thought not serious in that really. All is
Graph diggers cages, I guess. Are they running anything mainboard? Oblivion stones I could see. I guess those deal with it, right? Like.
Yeah. Oh, they're running main deck Relic of
Oh,
Progenitus.
yep. 3 relics will do it.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Humans against the
Are they running
Tronless playing O Stones. Ain't a great situation for them. Playing 4 of them.
Yeah. This humans list is running 3 deputy attentions in the sideboard.
Yeah, that's really good against Phoenix.
Yeah.
They get 2 of them out and you just 3 for 1 them.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of a clock, but in humans it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's not a human. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a creature though.
We're kind of passing over the hexproof decks.
Yeah, I mean they don't really gain or lose anything anytime. Like they've been a consistent metagame player for years up until this point.
Yeah, you see some trinkety kind of stuff that's like not gonna make or break the deck, or it's not gonna position it like super well. Like Griff's Boon, Open the Armory. People are playing Mana Tithe. It's like barely ever gets played. Super gotcha kind of card.
Yeah.
Even Dramoka's Commander, like I don't know if I'd be playing that.
Yeah.
So it's got really good cards in the sideboard between Dampening Sphere, Gaddock Tea, Leyline of Sanctity, Rest in Peace,
Seal, Stony Silence,
and Stony Silence. Like those are some hella good lockout pieces that kind of work all right with the archetype itself. This one's running 4 past main deck, which is a little iffy. Another humans list.
Almost exact same list. Very close. They're running Anafenza instead of the whatever the red one is that deals damage or whatever.
Playing Deputy of Detention and Auroch Champions.
Yep.
Let's see if the burns settled down. Oh, they're still playing the Grim Lavamancer. Playing some light up the stage. I'm a big fan. I really like that card.
Yeah. Especially paying the spectacle cost and burn. Like if you get it off, holy crap, you're getting huge card advantage in that deck.
Yeah, I'd just lava dart people just to get this off for 1 mana. It's a freaking 1 mana divination, and the prowess decks I was playing, I called them fancy burn decks. And then Arclight.
Yep.
Still main and surgicals.
Yep. This thing's still a terror. This deck is still a terror and a menace right now.
I don't know if I would be playing the Pyromancer's Ascension build in this format. It just seems so like dangerous with surgicals in the like.
Yeah.
You're directly attacking the. You could take them off of Pyromancer's Ascension just with the surgical, but I guess both. I mean, both of them are playing it. And then Valakut. There's got to be one Valakut in each of these topics.
Oh yeah, at least one.
Yeah, same little list. I mean, Anger with.
They're in the red.
It's like in this format, you just see an Anger of the Gods in your opener, and you go, all right, I'll keep.
Yeah.
3 lands or
Anger. That's all I need.
All right,
yep.
Good game.
Turn 3. Anger. Yokohama. Oh boy.
So let's see what the Japanese are bringing to the table here.
Dredge. That's what they're bringing to the
3
table.
Dredge. Only 1. They don't like Art Life Phoenix, I guess. Which I'm gonna start with playing Blood Moon. In the maximized velocity.
As a one of.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like that card. When I played Arclight Phoenix a little bit and Pioneer, and I was a pretty big fan of maximized velocity.
I mean, it seems good in this deck too, where you can flip a thing in the ice or give a haste, or or Crackling Drake and give a haste.
That's really what I liked it for. Is like
yeah,
it's a two spells in one, but it's also it just makes a crack.
You can pitch
thing
it to
in
your
the ice
lava
very
axe.
scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can pitch it to your lava axe. You can cast it for the additional spell since it's only 1 mana. Like it's great versatile spell. Still on the Terminus list. I didn't think it stuck around this long.
I didn't
But
either.
seeing Kaya Orzhov usurper in there for like kind of the counterplay for, so they can exile Arclight Phoenixes with those two, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, this made sense in that format.
Hmm.
I liked some of these
I
three
really,
mana planeswalkers like this.
I really like her. I played her in Pioneer at one point, playing I think it was an Esper control list, and let me tell you, when you alter, it feels really good. It feels really good to alter.
She comes in at 3 loyalty for a 3 mana planeswalker, -5. She deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns and exiles, and you gain that much life.
Hmm.
So
right
you
at
tick it up
right at the start of
2 times.
Pioneer, there was a lot of Soul Flare decks going around, and they would just exile shitloads of cards. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna hold my Kaya and kill you with your own deck.
It deals damage to target equal to the number of cards that player owns. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not all.
Yeah.
I like, and I was really happy when they created like Crackling Drake and Enigma Drake, or
Yeah.
Enigma Drake, that count cards that are in exile as well.
Mm-hmm.
The spells in exile. When they did that with Is It in this Ravnica set, whatever ones.
Allegiance. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, man, I'm surprised I never thought of that, and it's a good twist on it. Because there was a. I'm very surprised I never thought of using that mechanic in Magic, because in Dragon Ball Z, there's a card called Tap Car on the Move. It's like this little short guy who just like runs around everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and the card deals 1 damage for every card your opponent has in the remove from the game section.
Oh.
So it's like it's playing off that mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they finally brought it in. I was like, oh, cool! It's Tap Car on the Move in Magic. So that card was like everywhere because they had like the Walmart blister packs and it came with like one promo card.
Oh yeah.
Every fucking time it was Tap Car on the Move. That's the only promo you'd get out of it. My friend Eli swears he got this extremely rare, like it's called an uber rare.
Mm-hmm.
He said he got it instead of that, but that doesn't make sense.
You all
Like,
call this BS. Yeah.
well, he did get it. He did pull one because the other guy who traded for it was like, no, yeah, I got it from him.
Yeah.
He got it out of the pack later. Just a few months ago, I found out how he could have gotten it, and it was they put them very scarcely in these 1-packs. It was like the first print run, so they're like the lottery cards or the original Zendikar expeditions.
Oh sure.
So they did it with that.
Wow. Okay.
And nobody even knew about it. Like they didn't even tell people. It might have been a mistake.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, where were we here? Stop talking about a dead card game like that.
Pro Tour London. Wow. Surprisingly diverse. Like holy crap.
Only because Arclight Phoenix isn't the entire format.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Well, this is other. This is like.
Oh yeah. Less than
the top 32
place.
then. Or?
So our top 8. What looks like.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
Pro Tour London is in let's see, April 26, 2019.
Mm-hmm. So we're halfway through the year.
Almost, yeah.
I mean, Arclight Phoenix isn't dominating the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, Affinity, Tron, Arclight
If anything,
Phoenix,
I think Humans is doing better.
It looks like it here. Let's
Yeah.
go to the best decks to really see what modern decks are doing the best, what earn the most points in modern.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, it's super diverse.
Yeah.
This is a very balanced format based off of this.
Yeah. I really think right before Modern Horizons, I really enjoyed Modern at this point.
I wouldn't mind playing this format again. Yeah. Though last year I didn't like this one. It's still you're still doing weird kind of combo-y things where it's like in graveyard based things with Dredge and Arclight Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
But then the combo-y things with like Urzatron and then definite combo with Amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Humans is pretty fair, mid-rangey type of deck, creature aggro deck. I wouldn't say there is really even a true mid range deck.
Yeah. I mean, like your closest would maybe be.
I
I don't
mean, the
know.
rock is in
The
some
yeah,
capacity.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Actually,
hardened scales.
that's my thought too. Hard scale. What even? I don't want to say Tron. I think no, that doesn't make sense. But I guess Jund was still around a little bit. So like I do
Oh,
remember
you
playing
said
against
oh,
Jund during
Jun,
this time. So
Boomer Jun,
Boomer Jund. Lots of Rock though. Yeah, I think Rock was like the mid range deck around this time.
of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember reading Star City articles telling you to stop playing the third color. What are you doing? But it's like, okay, I'm playing Cletus.
Yeah.
Meh.
So after Pro Tour London in April, a week or two later, you know, War of the Spark on May 3rd.
This is a banger here.
Yeah.
This one, you saw some real changes in modern. Some everybody can agree there's power creep in this set, and then static effects really
Putting
fuck
static effects
things
on
up.
planeswalkers was a bold choice, in my
Mhm.
opinion. I think that was a very dramatic move that they made, and it really changed how planeswalkers work. I feel like just like the way that you interacted with them, they just like I there's so much value in that static effect. It's almost better than giving it a plus or a down sometimes.
I mean, you got control deck. I mean, your control mirrors completely dictated on like, oh, who lands into
Who can
Teferi.
keep it Teferi on field
I'm not gonna
longer?
minus it for the card advantage because I know I kill half of your all of your counter spells are dead with this card on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find that permanent spell and get through all of my counter magic before you can really start playing the game again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
it's kind of Teferi is so you. What are the big three? Can you name the big three?
Oh yeah. Teferi,
Okay.
Ashiok, and Narset. Oh
Not,
no, not Ashiok. Karn,
bingo.
Teferi,
Narset's
Teferi, Karn, and Narset.
or Ashiok's pretty good.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of that one. It's punishing.
Especially in EDH, I fucking love Ashiok. In those 100 card singleton formats, Ashiok just you slam that thing and they're like, look at their fetch in their hand or you know just random
The
search
tutors,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, shuts them all down and then you can you know mill them out and exile their graveyard
Mm-hmm.
or mill yourself. Like I play it in Scarab God and I'm playing Self Reanimator, so I'll mill myself, exile their graveyard, and then just go to town on my own graveyard.
I've been in multiple like Grixis control mirrors or like control mirrors where I play him,
Mm-hmm.
and all I'm trying to do is mill you like fucking 20 cards.
Yeah, yeah.
And I land one of those.
Yeah.
That's pressure, and then I land a second one. That's lights out.
It was almost one of my favorite sideboards in a control deck when
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing like trying to get graveyard hate or some sort of search hate or something like that. Like Ashiok was just it did all it you know it does like three different things you want it to. It's such an awesome planeswalker for interacting and a really good sideboard piece.
Yeah.
So
That static effect could be in a certain format could be much more brutal than even well
then even the down tick, I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, like preventing search is a very strong. Like they put that on very few cards, I think, for a reason.
I guess here so Teferi and Splitter Twin. That's a card that helps it to some extent. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's a net even because it's
Well, you can't even say that it just helps Splinter Twin either because every combo deck has tried to play it in some form.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even remember seeing Devoted Druid lists were jumping into Teferi because it was just like I'm going to slam my Teferi and go off because you can't do anything once it's on the field.
my defense grid. It's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
XYZ spell. Like
Yeah, it's a better defense grid. Teferi's
Yeah.
a better defense grid.
a card back.
Yeah.
But it's like in Splitter Twin, it competes for that 3 slot. It
Yeah.
exists in the format is also detrimental. Does it prevent them from playing the removal spell? Yes. I don't know. Do you just go off a turn later with that and you're better protected? That probably that's pretty accurate.
I mean, most of the time, your opponent's going to try to burn a lot of resources into getting that Teferi off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're interacting with that, you get to play your own game over here.
True.
You know?
True.
So it's like, it's a huge shield. Like, that, I almost think that 3-mana Teferi is better than 5. The 5-mana Teferi.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's inarguable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just stupidly strong.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that 3-mana Teferi has gotten played ever since it's gotten printed in a decent capacity, whereas the 5-mana Teferi doesn't.
It was like blue-white control.
Yeah. Don't. I love Uncle Teferi or Grandpa Teferi. Big Daddy Teferi.
I do too. He's got a special
Baby
place in my heart.
Teferi's pretty good too.
Yeah.
If it didn't draw you a card, do you think it would be pretty balanced? That -3 replacement effect.
I still think it would be so strong.
It's really that tempo that does it.
Yeah.
It's that bounce effect. If it just said -3 draw a card, who gives a shit? You're still killing it. And
I've used it for the -3 draw card before, where I played it on empty field. You know, and I'm like, no, like shit, now take draw card. Why not? You know, but yeah, just like even if it didn't say draw a card, I'd still play it. Absolutely. Like like you said, the tempo play, or just being like, no greater thrill than upticking a Teferi, passing, and Supreme Verdicting on their turn. They're like swing, and you're like Supreme Verdict. That's a sorcery. No, it's not.
I've tapped the cards on the table. I've tapped the cards on the table a lot of times with with Narset, with Teferi.
Yeah.
Thalia's another one. I'm just like,
read it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this set was just like real banger. Lots of good stuff coming out of it. Personal favorite was definitely Finale of Devastation.
Teferi Tim Raveler is a good card.
Tim Raveler. Whoops. What else? Karn the Great Creator. Holy shit. What a fucking planeswalker.
Wish cards have never been as good as that one.
That is the best wish card ever printed.
Yeah.
Hands down, for sure. Definitely.
It's just like, I don't think they would ever print the original wish cards into Modern, but they print this guy instead.
Yeah.
A fucking Null Rod.
Yeah, that was, I'm just about to start with that. Like, having a static ability be a fucking Null Rod.
Mm-hmm.
So, automatically, like, if you're going up against this, you're shutting off an entire card archetype right there.
Yeah, and you hear all the reasons recently because of the Karn ban, but it's like, okay, it gets you every answer to any strategy in Magic. Mm-hmm. There's an artifact or a colorless card that hits every strategy is a silver bullet, but yet just on the front value, the face value, it's already one of the best. Negating artifacts is very powerful.
And if it goes uninteracted with, you can tutor twice, in like back to back. And then the uptick even has added value with the Null Rod static. Not only just being able to like turn stuff into creatures and even potentially lightning bolt them or something like that.
Kill them with it. Yeah.
Lots of interactions with liquid metal coating. I remember that was why Mycosynth Lattice got banned on a Modern.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because Mycosynth Karn, you just win. They can't tap their lands.
They can't play the game other than attack at that point.
Yeah.
And they have no board state. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Do a lot of just like uptick Karn, blow up your Darksteel Citadel.
You want to talk about fun interactive Magic?
Yeah.
Or fun play patterns. That is definitely not one of them.
I think the Karn Great Creator definitely helps shoot Affinity just completely out of the format.
Yeah, I mean,
so
hardened scales too. What I was gonna say something else about Karn. Oh, so there's a legacy deck that I was playing. It's like a combo deck. It's a paradox engine where you have no creatures. You have no way of dealing damage. You have no way of milling your opponent, and you're blasting through card advantage. You're playing like the One Ring. Mm-hmm. The only way to kill your opponent is resolving a fucking Karn, Well, the wishboard on Karn and getting cards out of the
And
sideboard,
getting a ballista.
or getting a ballista that way,
Yep.
or getting Karn on the field and killing them with a one ring that's now a creature.
Yeah.
And it's
Is it that deck that's running like all the soul lands, the Grim Monoliths, and basically just trying to build a ton of colorless mana, and like it's a completely colorless deck, right?
is one of the reasons I hate the one ring.
Yeah.
It's because I got all of my fucking City of Traders and all of my Grim Monoliths. Then they print the one ring, and I just get fucking priced out of the deck when I buy two expensive playsets of two expensive reserve list cards.
Yeah. Grim Monoliths, yeah. And City of Traders. City of Traders are even more than Grim Monoliths right now. Jeez.
I didn't do too bad on them, but it's just like it's very annoying.
Yeah.
Spending that amount of money and then having this broken ass card that everybody knows shouldn't have probably been printed, at least in the manner that it's printed in. And it's just like, we don't fucking care. We like.
And the cheapest you can get a playset right now, I think the cheapest variant is like $30 or $35 or something.
I'm curious. I haven't looked it up. Somebody asked me if I have them, and then I was like, no. And then they asked me, am I going to get them? And I said, probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in playing in a modern format that
this card exists.
Revolves around it.
So a little less than $30,
which is way cheaper than I expected.
Yeah. So you'd spend $120 for your playset.
That's not the worst. It's just I don't know. I don't want to have
the card feels dirty, right? That's like yeah, like the hot potato. Yeah.
I don't want to get stuck with it. Like Furies, I don't feel so bad about. I guess the one ring's not gonna tank in price. It's gonna be a Teferi's protection forever in modern, or I'm sorry, in
EDH Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably got legs at vintage quite a bit. In some ways,
because I play a lot of it. Yeah. Or if I want to sell them. Yeah. I mean, I'd play them in Legacy, but it really hurts when I get a card banned in Modern. It's like the only reason I keep it around is to keep it for Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That one hurts a little more. It was like Oko for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I never jumped on those. I never jumped on Oko or Uro because I was like, these are way too. They just seem too good.
I got my Euros much later, and fucking love that card. I love playing that card in Legacy.
Gross great.
Yeah.
Gross Sparrow on a body. Oh my god.
It's I don't know. It's not something that should be in Modern or Pioneer or any of the standard. But Legacy, big fan.
God, I really wish we could have Oko or not Oko, Uro in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
But it just fits so nicely into the Omnath land synergy.
The free spells,
yeah,
man.
Reddit 6 decks.
Oh, you mean you have a Dragon Rage Chandler attacking me. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just gonna keep looping this bitch.
Yeah.
And then if you get a real threat, I'll solitude it.
Yeah.
And then once I feel comfortable, I'm gonna reanimate this Uro and bury ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just not possible.
Yeah. It's a very strong card. The escape mechanic was a pretty very strong mechanic to print.
Yeah. What's the 1 mana one? The black
oh yes,
exile something.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't remember what it's called, but it escapes for 3 cards in 4 mana, I think, or is it 5 cards in 4 mana?
I don't remember, but when that came out, I was like, "Fuck, this is a cool. I really like this. I like this being a draw engine."
Yes.
And then Luris came out and shot that in the face.
Well, it was very useful because you got a different outcome depending on what you targeted. And I used it a lot of times to I was like, I need a source of life gain, any source of life gain. Use this card, use it again out of the graveyard, or whatever. Or you'd be able to use it as a draw engine too, just free replace itself and exile a card from your opponent's graveyard was like such a cool. It's a
main deckable removal, a graveyard removal spell. It's like that Nile spell bomb when Reed Duke was playing it.
Yeah.
But it was just like that was the the mode that you were kind of like least likely to play it as. It was just
Mhm.
like, oh, I needed target removal in the graveyard. But I just like the opportunity of being able to just keep drawing cards off of it and keeping it going. You draw like 3 cards with it
Yeah.
by the end of a game.
Yeah. Or you're just sitting there towards the end of the game, empty hand, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, start excellent shit from my graveyard, pay the mana to draw cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, I ran it. I loved it. That card
Yeah.
was great.
We're talking about cards completely off the topic of this,
Right.
but
Yeah, we gotta keep moving. We got a lot to go through still. So, let me think. Blast Zone, Finale of Devastation.
that was a big one for your pet deck.
Absolutely. Fucking loved that card in
Mhm.
Devoted Druid. Honestly, just super fantastic. Like the ability to not only get the cards out of the deck, but out of the graveyard added a awesome, awesome addition to it. Made it super nice for adding more versatility. That was the nicest part where you could readily top deck into a Finale Devastation and go, okay, I think I might have an out here.
You have like any other piece or any 2 pieces, you just win
Yeah.
on the spot.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can do some really. I remember doing some really cheeky gimmicks with like
Oh, by the way, Andrew's pet deck was Devoted Druid.
Druid. Yeah.
So you get a Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies
Mhm.
or something similar, and you make infinite mana, and then this card is X green green. Search your graveyard or library for a creature spell, put it into play if X was 10
X
or
less.
more.
If X is 10 or more, all your creatures get plus X, trample and haste until the end of the turn.
Yeah, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they at least get plus X, and haste. I remember. I think, or no, not haste. Maybe trample.
Trample.
I think just trample. Yeah. Yeah. So you could do like I remember doing like Finale into Eternal Witness, Finale into something else, or like Finale into Eternal Witness, Postmortem Lunge, Devoted Druid.
It is haste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Yep. And the best part about this is not only is it a search, not only does it target the graveyard, but it also is a win con.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like fucking great. I get all the stuff, all of it at once. Cut the collected companies, get those out of here. We'll put in finales.
Well, the cheeky
Or
thing
not
with
collected
this,
companies, quarter callings.
the cheeky thing with this and Walking Ballista is if you were to tutor the Walking Ballista for X equals infinite,
Mhm.
it doesn't get those counters.
Mhm.
But when you put infinite into this guy, it gets infinite
Yeah.
that base power and toughness, but then you can activate its ability infinite times and kill them that way as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you can get the Walking Ballista, but it has to be 10 or more if you go to get it.
Correct.
So, yep.
Yeah. That's a fun card. Doesn't see much play, and it was freaking like $40.
It's still 20.
I got mine for like 12, and I'm like, I'm getting ripped off here. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait like 5 years for this to get played in EDH, and then I'll like it'll be like $20, and then maybe I'll regret selling them or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they went up to fucking 40. I couldn't believe it.
Yep. Yep.
But,
Should have fucking sold them. That's what I should have done with mine.
Dread Horror Arcanus, I'm a big fan. Didn't do much in Modern.
Yeah, no,
It's a cool
not
card.
really. Niv Misery Reborn popped up in deck for a while. That deck was gimmicky as hell.
Yeah.
I never really liked it.
Much better in Pioneer.
Yes.
It had way bigger legs in there.
Yep. Jace Wielder of Mysteries. I did remember that saw a lot of play in Ad Nauseam. That's why Ad Nauseam's so good around this time, I think. Or like post War of Spark. I know Ad Nauseam got played a little bit before Modern Horizons.
Jace Wheeler of Mysteries was recently a Modern card.
In what deck?
In the Omnath Up the Beanstalk decks.
What?
Their way of winning in the mirror was pretty much to resolve that Jace
Holy
and
crap.
mill themselves.
That's crazy.
Draw that many cards. That's
Modern
what the
2023, folks.
That's what the format has come to is
Modern 2023.
laboratory maniac bullshit.
Yeah.
That's probably why they targeted Up the Beanstalk. Is it was like we're getting to the point where this is just like dragging out fucking games, and it is possibly the best deck, and we're getting those cascade decks that cascade into Up the Beanstalk to just trigger it even more and more and more, and just gain cascade into a up the beanstalk is like the goal.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Ugin the Ineffable. I know that sees some play in like Eldrazi Tron. Dolan's Veto's huge.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Arboreal Grazer, very strong for prime time.
So right after this, no tournaments in between.
Yeah, I didn't see any GPs. Anything like there was probably some small tournaments in that span, but nothing big. Yeah, like this is a dead period for tournaments.
Modern Horizons comes out in June 14th, 2019. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, shakeup in Modern ever.
Mm-hmm. I think the only bigger one was Modern Horizons 2.
Yeah, that is, I think, the biggest shakeup.
Yep. And I noted down for this. I just said we got to hit the whole set, all as one, because like, I think well over 50 to 70% of the set was like played in some capacity and has like tournament results, just because the format got very fluid after this. I feel like there was a lot of shakeup, but then also the quality of the cards were so strong that you could play almost any of them from that set. I mean, everything from like Arkham's Astrolabe up to like Giver of Ruins, up to Ren and Six, up to
Captain Ranger of Eos,
yep, Captain
the
Ranger
Horizon
Eos.
Lands, Seasoned Pyromancer,
Yep.
Urza.
Yeah.
So there's all the like
Prismatic Vista, Ice Fang Coidal.
Most of these, I think every card that we just named, I'm pretty happy with that power level. I'm not. Urza's a little dangerous, but like Ranger Captain, Seasoned Pyromancer, Ice Fang Coidal.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ice Fang Coidal. I wanted, what's its face, Baleful Strix in the format for the longest time.
Yeah,
I think it's worse in Modern than it is in Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
The mother of runes, giver of runes, which is a pseudo for mother of runes. Great card design on that.
Favorite cards from that set. I love that one.
It hits the missing spot for mother of runes, but doesn't make it degenerate.
And it actually has advantage in Modern or advantage for it being what it is, because it can protect from colorless.
Yes,
that's super relevant in Modern, especially as we see all these colorless decks. In some variety, there's always been like a colorless deck in the format, so like that Giver ability has come in handy a lot against colorless.
Yeah, they took a lot of spins on older cards.
Yeah,
and it was almost like Future Sight or Time Spiral Part 2.
Yeah,
Electric Boogaloo.
I think they did mention something about that too, where they're like, they kind of want this to be like that. So
because you can see it, Ranger Captain, Seasoned Pyromancer, Giver of Runes, the Cabal Therapist, Urza. Did we get Yawgmoth in this set?
Yes.
Yeah, so Yawgmoth is probably going to be one of the most dominant decks of this format coming up in the next few weeks.
We got the Cycle of Forces too. I mean,
how could we forget?
All of those, but the red one have seen play in some variety.
So blue definitely gets played in every format it's legal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Green is very good.
Yes.
Definitely caused me a lot of headaches in Modern.
It's very good in the primetime.
That was the first time I really questioned like the free magic, even with the vote creatures in. I got what is it called, the green one?
Force of Vigor. Yeah, Force of Vigor.
My opponent, I had 2 relevant artifacts or enchantments on the field. They blew up both of them by exiling a card, and I went, wait a fucking second. I just got 2 for 2'd when I spent 4 mana and they spent 0 mana. And it's just like, why is this card designed as a break even on with the exile ability?
Yeah.
And that was when I was just like, what the fuck is this? This is not, you have a targeted sideboard hate card that has an upside of a 2-for-1 with a downside of like 2 for 2, a break even.
A shitty
for
green card from your hand. Yeah.
That one was the first one I was just like, this is not where we should be. Even Force of Negation, I played a lot with that card. I think the wording on the card makes it pretty fair and balanced.
Yeah, yeah. It's for what it is. Like the
Mhm.
force, the fact that it is only a negate. It can only counter non-creature stuff, and then it's also like it can't be on your turn. Like
Yes.
we've talked about this
Critical.
before, especially with what's the blue? If you control your commander, cast
Eminence.
it for free.
Eminence.
No, no,
That.
no, no. It's the blue counter spell that does that.
Oh, fierce guardianship.
Yes, yeah, yeah. We're like these free spells were getting banned, and we're seeing free spells getting banned in EDH, and specifically ones like Fierce Guardianship, where they're used to protect your own combo, versus Force of Negation being something that denies your opponents, but you know, if you want to use it to protect yourself, you have to
Yeah.
spend the mana.
If it was used as a reactionary spell to what your opponent was doing and being degenerate, I don't give a shit about it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But when it's used to protect your degeneracy,
Mm,
I have a little bit different
yeah.
of an opinion, especially when you're looking at like commanders, like you're saying, 2 card combo. Like you have your commander and then a card from the deck
Yep.
that's easily tutorable, and
Mm-hmm.
you just go off.
And then you just got your Fierce Guardianship, and you cast it for free because you don't
Mm-hmm.
have any mana left. So
Yeah.
the other forces were pretty, I think, like pretty relevant.
The
Or
white one saw a tiny bit of play.
I mean, more recently with like the Shining Shoal builds, it's very good in those. It's been seeing like 2 or 3 and I
Yeah.
like it. I like it in those. I think it's a cool. I think it's a cool card, especially being an enchantment. Like I hope it has some utility in the future.
I saw Squadron Hawk list at the beginning when it first came out. I went, holy shit, this is the pinnacle of Magic. I was like, oh my god, this is, you exile the Squadron Hawks. Do you get it? Like,
Yeah. You go get your 3 Squadron Hawks, exile them all in the Force of Virtues.
This counter is Plagued Engineer. Was that is that in the first set?
Yes, it is. So I just remembered a short story about this. I played against Infect the week before they made the announcement that all Infect creatures were, or like the Phyrexian renaming of all the old stuff.
Yep.
And they weren't named Phyrexian when I played. So I couldn't Plague Engineer and name Phyrexian and get all their creatures. And I was like, this sucks.
It's still pretty good against the deck.
Oh yeah,
Static
absolutely.
ability.
Yeah.
Burks that deck.
Oh, that Plague Engineer got played a lot. I remember humans. It was just super brutal against humans and super valuable for a lot of deck lists. So I haven't got it played against me in Devoted Druid. They just name like human
Vizier,
or druid or
yeah.
something, and yeah.
Well, Vizier, Remedy, whatever
Yeah.
creature types it was.
Right.
The man, I was just like, Ren and 6 was in that set.
Mm-hmm.
That got banned in Legacy.
Yep. Makes sense. Wasteland.
Yeah, Wasteland looping, not the best thing to be existing. The yeah, it happened to me at fucking my first Canadian Highlander tournament.
Oh, jeez.
Luckily,
You got Wasteland lose with.
Yeah. It was, the game lasted longer than it ever should have. Let's go here. Well, let's finish the year and see if we got time to hit more stuff about Modern Horizons.
Yeah.
Because this might fill in some of what we talk about. Next Grand Prix, Blue White Control.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. So this is. Are they.
Same list.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought this was the list where they started running. What's it called? Astrolabe.
No, not quite yet.
Yeah.
They're not on that
Yeah.
train.
Hope.
But they're not running the Terminus. That's a big one.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Hogak Dredge. So this is the like early iteration. Vengevine, Blight. Oh, this is so tight already though. Grave Crawlers, Carrion Feeder, Insolent Neonate, Stitcher Supplier, Vengevines, Faithless Looting, Lightning Axe, Altered Dementia, Bridge from Below.
I didn't think the Altered came right. I didn't think it came right away.
Oh yeah, because the combo was the Alter Bridge, right? So you get the bridge in the graveyard and just keep sacking recurring over and over and over again to make infinite zombies.
I didn't think they were on to the
yeah.
infinite combo yet.
Yeah.
But damn. So explain again how does that combo work?
So you get the bridge in the graveyard, and then whenever a non-token creature is put in the graveyard, you make a 2/2 zombie. So you let me think. So you're sacking what's it called, Hogak, to mill out your bridge for
Multiple bridges to yourself.
yeah
Mill yourself.
yeah mill yourself so you can hit all your bridges. And then you're casting your carrion feeders out of the bin, and getting your blood gas back, and
Your
then
grave crawlers out of the bin.
or sorry, yeah, grave crawlers.
Because Hogak he's not a zombie, he's
No.
an avatar.
Yep. And then getting back Vengevine or your grave crawlers again. I think. What is the loop exactly with?
I don't know if there's a hard loop. I think it's just you.
There's a loop in Legacy. I know that.
You build up to a point where you're. I mean,
I think it's definitely a value engine. Like at the end of the day, you're just trying to beat them down. I know this deck could put out like 2 or 3 Vengevines on turn 3, turn 4, or whatever with a Hogak, but
okay. So you have 2 bridges on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You sacrifice your Hogak to yourself. You're
2 bridges in the graveyard.
I'm sorry, in the graveyard.
Yeah.
You have 2 bridges in your graveyard. You have your Hogak. You're getting 2 zombies, which pay for the colored mana, and then you delve.
That's it.
5 of the 6 cards
Yep.
until you hit your 3rd bridge, which now you can start milling your opponent and doing the same thing, and you loop it that way.
Yep. I remember now. So yeah, you need at least more than 1 bridge in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Because then you can almost infinitely cast Hogak.
Yes.
Because you can just keep sacking and recurring them over.
But
and over
your
again.
deck is a finite resource, so you have to play around that. It's not a perfect infinite loop.
Which is where like the Vengevines come into play, because if you sack that first Hogak, hit a couple Vengevines, and then cast that Hogak again, if that's your second
third
creature
time,
spell,
you're triggering it.
Yep.
And then you sacrifice it again.
Yep.
Vengevine, whenever you cast a spell, if it's a second... Oh, it is only 2.
Yep.
If it's a second creature spell that you cast this turn, you may return Vengevine from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's the second creature. So it only triggers on your second cast. Okay.
Yep.
It's been so long since I've read it.
Yep.
So it's technically triggering every time you cast a spell. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's fun.
Yeah.
But so you add those into the mix. That's 4, 8, 16 cards from their deck. Then the Hogaks and the bridges.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of it are that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it 1 card or 2 cards per?
It's 1 card per.
Sacrifice power.
God, if it was 2 cards per, 16 cards for sacking a Hogak.
So, I mean, this deck list made Modern Horizon go from, like, sweet, that we got a ton of new cool toys to...
Oh, no.
This format's just busted.
Alter Dimension came out in the same set, actually, too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it in the same set as Hogak.
Eldrazi-tron.
They're not running anything new, basically.
Why we see no Arclight Phoenix?
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange. Snapcaster in blue-white control.
Phoenix didn't get banned till later, did it? Or did it already get banned?
No, it's not banned yet. No. It got nerfed with Faithless Looting ban.
Hogak Stoneforge Mystic got unbanned, but I just thought Arclight. No. Oh, Faithless Looting got banned.
When Hogak gets banned, Faithless Looting gets banned because they're afraid it was going to take over the format.
Yep.
Yeah, right here, Faithless Looting.
Yep. And that nuked Arclight Phoenix in the process.
Yes. I guess these guys didn't know about fucking Hogak because they're not playing the Terminus. They're just playing...
Yeah. They're going on the 4 paths. Going on the 4 paths, I guess. 4 rest in peace on the sideboard.
True. Okay. So
full playset.
But that might have just been getting played in the last format with Dredge and Arclight being so big.
True.
Tom Ross coming in with Hogak. practically the same list.
Yep.
Here it comes, boys. Humans doing something.
Hold on. Humans, look at that. The sideboard for Leyline of the Voids. This is where we started to see.
Even without Hogak existing, like that's almost justifiable.
But
before,
I don't think so.
With Arclight and Dredge being like the 2 top decks in the format.
Yeah, I think they could have played something else. I don't think Wayland of the Void was necessary.
You're right, because they're playing Deputy of Detention and they're playing like Anafenza.
Yeah, they have
tempo
better plays for them that are more fit into the deck. Mm-hmm. Like Leyland of the Void is, your catch for decks that are just too fast in the graveyard to beat, right?
So Hogak had to have been a known entity and a big scary monster before this tournament.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Had to.
Urza, these builds are going to be spicy. This is what I like to see.
This is the Sword of the Meek combo build. So they're running Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek, the word I mentioned.
Well, Arkham's ass is
Arkham's ass.
Yeah, that card. I don't know. You think we could have it back in Modern?
I don't think so.
Should we? Probably not, but the colored mana is already fucking 5 color out the ass.
That's true.
You're playing Leyline Binding on 2.
This just forces you to use basics because of the snows. Well, not even. You can use the duels now. You got named dual basic or dual snowlands. But...
You're right, but they would just play the basics into these.
Yeah.
I kind of think this.
I almost like that's better than the Triumphs. The Leyline Binding shit.
I am too. I really am. I know, like the fact that it's a permanent and an artifact to boot is very dangerous, and it has consequences that I'm not really thinking about, especially Urza.
The fact that it replaces itself for 1 mana too is very good. It's a cantrip. It's like an opt, but it leaves behind something that fixes you fucking mana.
That's not true. It's I can't say it's more. It's almost more conditional on its mana cost.
True.
It's a sorcery speed spell.
Yeah.
It doesn't provide you any upfront value usually right away. It's the next turn that you're getting any amount of value, whether it's the Urza or the mana ability on it. But no, I kind of think it would be a dangerous unban. But the thing that really pushed it, I thought, was Yorion. With Yorion, it's completely dumb.
Well, it was like the Bant control decks that were running really heavy into, like the Ice Fang Coatl and stuff like that, and they were able to play Archmage's Charm, Ice Fang Coatls, and have all their fixing needed for all the counterspell stuff. So
that doesn't sound half bad to me.
I know, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then here we go, 8th place.
Walks.
Taking turns.
Oh, you didn't even click it. You missed it.
Oh, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to just...
They're playing 3 Giga Droughts in 2019.
I'm just going to call Subway 8th place, because it's just like... dude. Somebody's got to bring up the rear. Let's go to... Holy shit.
Okay.
That's the only tournament?
We only get 1 event before Bridge for Below gets banned.
We didn't even have 4 in the top 8.
Yeah. Yep.
There's more to it, though. You're certain you're not missing anything in between there? It must have...
Maybe
it was just all moto shit.
I think so. I don't think we had any major tournaments.
Was there a Pro Tour? I swear I saw...
Focus.
I thought I saw a Hogak tournament where it was like fucking 6 in the top 8.
That probably would have been post this ban because the deck gets faster. Because it adds.
Hogak's still alive. Okay, yeah. Hogak's still not banned. My bad.
The deck switches into like hard aggro, and it just crushes, just absolutely destroys. Because everyone realizes instead of sacking the Hogak to the Ultra Dementia, I should just beat them down with this fucking 8/8 that has trample.
With trample. Like.
My turn 2 8/8 with trample.
So I said this after Bridge from Below was banned and the alter shenanigans went away.
Yeah.
But I was like, if Hogak didn't have trample, I think it would have been might have been okay.
Yeah,
It,
because I can at least block it with my fucking Birds of Paradise today. It's the only thing I have in my field.
yeah, it's I can deal with this long enough for me to get an answer to both aspects of it,
Yeah,
either exiling it or exiling my graveyard to the point where I can
yeah,
take care of this guy
yeah.
at a greater capacity. Yeah, Bridge from Below. That's the first, like when I said earlier they'd putz around and ban cards close to the card that really is the target.
Mhm.
Um, like they didn't do it with Birthing Bond, they didn't do it with Splayer Twin, but for Hogak though, we're gonna
We're
fuck
gonna dance
around
around
and
this, baby.
they always do that with combo decks.
Yeah.
Like I can't say that because Birthing Pod and Splayer Twin are combo decks,
Well,
but
there's probably more to it where we always talk about it, but they probably got some secret insight. Like, Monarch Rise has just dropped. They don't want to start banning cards out of it. So,
oh bingo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
yeah.
Gotta still sell the set.
Yeah, I gotta sell it while it's still hot.
Because this one card makes or breaks that fucking set too. That's a joke. Because just the flavor, that set was just so much fun, so cool.
Mhm. I remember cracking boxes of that left and right. That was like the one set. I think I might have cracked more of that than I did Kaladesh. And I cracked a lot of Kaladesh when I was younger.
Yeah,
So,
I spent a lot of money on this set.
yes. Yeah, filled out my playset of, I think, almost everything I wanted from that set.
Which, at the end of the day, probably caused us more problems than we wish we would have today.
Yeah, well, we're stuck with it, so.
Bridge from Below, degenerate card. I mean, good
Yeah.
riddance.
Yeah.
Core set 2020. There's a lot. You put a lot of cards on here.
I did. I felt like there were a lot of them that did see play in some regard, and actually quite a few that saw play in like good regard. Big notable ones that I can think right off the bat: Field of the Dead. That got banned. Yeah, Veil of Summer,
Banger.
fucking huge, huge.
Is that banned in Modern?
No?
Okay. I always forget where it is, where it's banned and where it's not banned.
It's banned in Pioneer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So Field of the Dead, Blayland of Abundance gets banned in Modern eventually. Mystic
Yes.
Forge.
That's an awesome card. I love that card.
Aethergus, Colossus Hammer. That enables an entire deck.
This is a very important set.
Yeah, honestly.
And then Risen Reef
Yep.
before some of the One Ring and up the Beanstalk. This was your value card.
Oh yeah, with the Omnaths.
God damn, that's a hell of a set.
Yeah, Awakened Inferno. There's even some Awakened Inferno was everyone thought that card was gonna be huge.
Field of the Dead format definer. Leyline of Abundance got banned because it was becoming one. Lotus Field is a very critical card, like
Yes.
always right there on the edge, and people are thinking that Pioneer might get taken over by it.
Played so much of that in Pioneer, and it's even good enough in Modern in some capacity.
Aethergus played consistent play in Modern
Yep.
in Pioneer, and then and then Veil of Summer is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And then there's some, smaller notable ones that I put in there, like Spectral Sailor, kind of helps out spirits a little bit. Voracious Hydra is a very strong green X card. That saw like some mid range play a little bit. I remember seeing a little bit of it, but I don't remember what deck. I just like faintest memories of playing against it. Shifting Ceratops, I thought that was a cool card. I kind of wish it would see more play, just as like a fuck you blue decks. Here's my big
I felt the same way.
dinosaur. Yeah. Tail's End. I think that card is so underrated. It's a stifle or a counter a legendary spell. Like with the amount of legendaries that we keep getting, and just how prominent it was, especially in like Lord of the Rings.
Planeswalker creatures, the One Ring.
Yeah. I'm just gonna counter it. Fuck your shit. Get out of here.
Sorry, there's a card called the Lighted Halfling.
Oh god, you're right. It's all over.
Kinda.
So yeah, Core Set 2020, honestly a very valuable set overall.
And when I was listening off the Colossus Hammer, it's a fucking and it took forever for that deck to get solidified. I remember Brandon playing the red, almost base red version of that deck when you'd be magmatic thefting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing like a really old version of that deck.
When he was building it, I was kind of like, Brandon, what the fuck are you doing, man? I was like, this is such a tier 3 deck. Little did I know.
Holy shit. Okay, here's where it all goes downhill from here, folks. Yeah. So Dredge, Hogak.
Have we seen a top 8 this?
Eldrazi-tron.
Was it 6?
Eldrazi-tron was 7. I think 6 or 7.
And this is just the first one.
Yep. I just want to know if these lists look the same. That's all I think I want to know out of this one.
I bet there's like 2 cards difference. The alter dimensions might be the difference. Okay, that's even that's way more different than I thought.
Assassin's Trophy low with trolls. Okay, that one's about the same as the first list.
I had a friend who went really, really hard in a lot with trolls, and it didn't pay out.
Yeah, I fucking bet it.
Satyr Wayfinder, what a fucking... I love that card.
Yeah. There's another one that comes out in Spore Shaman.
Yeah.
Sees a lot of play.
It would this deck would be playing it probably.
Yeah, Austin played it at FNM. Played Spore Shamans.
Hedron Crab. Oh, I guess they did have access to it, but Hedron Crab in this deck is just
Yeah, play my fetch. Get 6 cards out of it.
Okay, they're running Leyline of the Void. I was like, you gotta be seeing Surgicals out the ass.
Is this where we start seeing Leyline's main board in deck lists? Not yet.
This is like the first version of the fancy burn list that I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Where it's
Soul Scars and Lava Darts.
Burning. Is this the first appearance of Lava Dart? Yeah, it is, because Lava Dart was in Modern Horizon 1.
Yep. Ooh, and then once we get Luris and Ikoria, then that deck transitions down to the really fast. Yeah.
Damn, man. I forgot that was the first time that was in. I have 4 foils. Oh, jeez, because they're awesome.
Card's great.
And then you got normal burn. It's just... They ban a card out of the deck, and then the next Grand Prix, 5 out of the top, they probably went, fuck.
Yeah, we're like, ooh, that was the wrong call there.
This is worse than if the next Grand Prix, or the Magic Fest or whatever, they had like 5 scam decks. This is even worse. Imagine if that happened.
Oh my god!
Like the next tournament, there's
a Orzhov scam deck at the top. If there's a first place Orzhov scam deck or something, I would be
next
start laughing.
The next daily MTG thing would be with the fucking banning committee going, okay, we fucked up. I mean, are we not that they fucked up? We hear that there's problems in the modern format.
There are problems arising.
We hear you. We understand. We're with you. we feel the same way. We hate those assholes. Wait,
those assholes down the hall that designed the cards?
No, they're talking about themselves.
Oh.
Man, whoever makes the decisions for these did a horrible job. Imagine the next day at Watts, then Monday after this tournament.
Yeah,
I think that guy still works there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, let's see what the next ones look like.
Maybe this is why we don't have a lot of faith in our BNR.
Because of the state of these. Yeah.
Ban a card. Next one. Death Nail.
We still got 2 more here.
Oh shit, yeah, we do.
Birmingham.
That was
Las
Minneapolis.
Vegas.
Man, I could have been at that playing.
3 lists.
Simon Nielsen
wins it with a Death Shadow. Oh, this is the white black variant.
Yes, I love
this.
I love this list. I didn't really ever play Death Shadows, but once they introduced Ranger Captain and EOS.
Yeah. I wish I had the cards to build this, because I think I was missing at the time. I was missing especially Marsh Flats, or like I was missing some of my white black lands or whatever. Oh, the Pain lands from this too. The Silent Clearings. I haven't my place out of those yet.
So this features another Modern Horizons card, Unearth.
Unearth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that's really, really strong in this deck. Very strong. The synergy of sacking Captain of Aos and then being able to recur it and go get another Death Shadow is so good.
So when I was thinking about decks to play after the banning, I was considering this.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I want to play this deck again.
Hex Parasite was the hottest tech I've ever seen in a Death Shadow deck ever. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop my life total down as far as I want and then play my Death Shadows and do it.
The unfortunate thing is in this format there wasn't much to attack with it. Like even the hardened skills, it's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing playing hardened skills right now, dude?
But it brought back. This also brought back one of my favorite disruption creatures, Tie Hollow Sculler. Love that card.
This is my favorite deck list. I think this is my favorite deck list. I never actually really played. I might have played it one FNM.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
This list is so cool to me.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
Maybe not as big of a fan of the. Oh, this isn't Esper. This is Mardu.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge fan of the Teamer Battle Rage, but yeah, it's a fucking great list. And then Dredge. Not much has changed. Caustic Caterpillar.
They got the Glowspore Shamans now.
They're main decking one Caustic Caterpillar. Oh yeah, they are. Is he? No, he's still playing Lawless Trolls. What a fool.
The Crypt Breaker. Interesting.
So, Crypt Breaker, the main thing, it's a 1/1 for 1 black. Tap 3 untap zombies you control. You draw a card and you lose a life. So you must be just
Stitcher Supplier. Stitcher Supplier, Gravecrawler, Crypt Breaker, Carrion Feeder, all zombies.
Yeah.
So you have a decent amount there.
So he's trying to gain advantage, whereas like this deck list is playing the Caustic Caterpillar in the main deck.
I like this deck list a lot better.
It doesn't make sense though, because you're trying to destroy the shit in their sideboard. Why main deck it? Play in your sideboard, bring it in.
It's true. Yeah, actually.
This I'm more excited. I'm excited.
Ooh, Goblin Engineer Urza. So this is it's still all in on the sort of the meat combo.
So with this, you're Goblin Engineering into either a combo piece or into an Ensnaring Bridge. Ensnaring Bridge is pretty good against the Dredge decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
If you can dump your hand into but with Thopter Foundry, you have infinite mana, infinite 1/1s, infinite life.
You got the Teferi Time Raveler showing up too. Astrolib's interesting. 4 of.
Where's Teferi? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay. So it probably was in the last list too. This is a cool list. I really like this list.
Yeah.
It's without the Astrom's Arco Blade. It's like, okay, this is a fair deck list. This is degenerate.
You have to do a lot to combo off on that.
It's got a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what haves you.
Yeah.
It's very toolboxy.
Yeah.
I guess it is it's very similar to Birthing Pod, where it's like you got a pretty good fair deck or fair thing. You have a combo in there.
You got a top end combo, but you're also playing like a mid rangey game.
You can like grind them out, and then you have tons of silver bullets with a I-win card.
Yeah. Yeah. Your Urza's just a fucking powerhouse. Like absolute powerhouse.
It comes with a beat stick.
Yeah. Urza carries a stick. It's an OO Colossus that gets +X. X is the number of artifacts you control.
Hard skills. Let's see. I'm curious what this blue-white deck is trying to accomplish here.
It's running forces.
Still doing the Wrath of God thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that it has Path to Exile is pretty good. It's playing Oust. And then one of our first appearance of Force Negation.
Yeah.
What are you doing playing Gideon in this format? Fulminator Mage?
Interesting.
Fulminator Mage Unearth is
That's spicy. I like it.
He has access to a lot of stuff, but it's also kind of like, why?
All right, we should probably keep moving.
Shenanigans.
We
Yeah,
got some
Shenanigans
more-
was a cool card.
Some more to go
Very
through
well
here.
designed card.
Yeah, I like Shenanigans. I wish I saw more play.
Holy shit.
This is another
Simon
5.
Nielsen.
Wow.
First place on this one.
Wow.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, somebody got
Jeez.
fired. You can't look at this and go, yeah, you guys really solved it. That was really your data crunching and your fucking game, your play testing really solved it. You have this might
5.
be even worse than Eldrazi winner at this point.
Well, the duration seemed to be longer, right?
Let's see. So it comes out in July, August. You see 2 months.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
about the same, if not shorter.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was the outcry against it was a lot louder than Tron in
Yeah.
some regards.
And then 2 Eldrazi Tron. So, yeah.
Yeah. Another
I
Ursa
don't
deck.
get that. How? What?
Oh, Karn Great Crater. Maybe that was kind of keeping the deck up.
Oh, and
definitely
then you
helping
get
probably.
the Ensnary version. on
Ooh,
the
they're
side.
playing the Lattice combo too.
So it's not that good when a fucking Hogak's gonna kill you.
It's true. Yep,
I
that
don't
is
know.
true.
This deck has gotten a lot better with the Karn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Karn was a very strong Tron piece. Karn was I think the strongest Tron piece they've put out since. What was the one that even came out before that? Umag Ceaseless Hunger.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a banger. And then the Urza deck. Yeah, pretty much the same build. I thought these got mixed up a little more. I thought there's way
we'll see more of it once
or changes.
we get Throne of Eldraine. Then you start to get into the green variants, and like Gilded Goose comes out, and the food starts getting involved.
True.
Then you get like different splitting off color differences.
Mhm.
So
You really get the use of that Astrolabe.
yes, yeah.
All right, here it is. Faithful Hour, or the Faithful Hour. Hogak gets banned, and Faithless Looting gets banned.
There's a caveat.
And then Stoneforge Mystic gets unbanned. So, yeah, I mean, I was very excited about that. The Faithless Looting, at the time, I was like, why are they banning that? Like, what the fuck? But Arclight was just gonna take over the format. That was clear.
And they pretty made it pretty explicit when they did this banning, where they're like, okay, we kind of messed up with the graveyard strategies. We let them become too dominant in the format, and they just let an archetype in itself kind of take over and spike out the format. Like you had tons of MTGO and different deck lists, Burn even, that was running 4 of Leyline of the Voids main board. How is that even close to remotely healthy? So
Yeah, that's fair. There's like 8 months up until this point where it's like Dredge, like the early version of Dredge, Arclight Phoenix, into Hogak, into Bridge for Maloban, into Hogak for 2 more months. So that's 8 months straight of these, like, it's all about the graveyard. And I mean, Faithless Looting enabled that.
Yep.
Faithless Looting also enabled Hollowed One, which probably would have showed up again after this Hogak ban, I think.
Probably.
Let's say Arclight Phoenix didn't get printed. Yeah. Arclight pushed it out, but Hogak would, or Hollow One might be the best deck in the format after that point.
It'd be hard to say, especially with the new Mon Horizon stuff coming in. You know, like what's weird is we didn't see any Ren at 6 in any of these top 8s.
What you gonna do with a Ren 6 against a goddamn Hogak, baby?
You're right. But still, you know, it's like you don't see these cards that I normally thought would spike their way out, you know. So it's kind of interesting to see what.
Well,
then it get
Ren
played.
6 is destroying Legacy right now.
Yes, it probably is.
Hogak was still pretty brutal in Legacy, but it lasted quite a bit longer.
Stoneforge Mystic getting unbanned. I was stoked about that. I was so excited
I
because
was shocked.
yeah, I picked up my playset before it got unbanned.
Mhm.
I think like $100 for the whole playset,
That's-
which was solid. It was the whole Pro Tour playset too, or the the nice foils or whatever. The
those
promos,
are Grand Prix. Yeah.
Grand Prix promos. Yep. Because I wanted to play in Legacy really bad. I want to play Death in Texas, and they got unbanned, and I was like, Death in Texas is modern. Here we go, baby. Let's do it. They brought the Givers. They got the Stone Forges. Let's rock and roll. So, yeah, I'm super happy about that.
I did not. Not a lot of people I knew expected to hear an unbanning with this news.
Yeah.
Because it was like we just said, 8 months
Yep.
of this just banning these two cards would shake up the format itself, but unbanning. It's kind of like Pioneer right now, where they ban those two cards, but they're unbanning a card. Really flips the lid on that.
Oh yeah, everyone's like, "Yo, Smuggler's Caught there," and then all the other cards disappear. So yeah, it's a stack of cards.
All right,
So,
I'll hit the big ones.
October, Throne of Eldraine. This was I think this is the first standard set where you see a genuine jump in power level.
There was no doubt in people's mind once this set, once people got these cards in their hands, they knew this was one of the most busted standard sets in a long time.
Yeah.
People already saw it escalating with War
of the Spark, yeah.
And this was the point I was like, this is just ridiculous. This is not sustainable. The main cards were Oko.
Yep.
And
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. That I was like, I saw Once Upon a Time. I'm like, what are you fucking doing here?
I remember arguing with a buddy about this for like 20 minutes straight, where he's like, "It's only as good as the Shimmer of Possibilities," and I'm like, "Read the fucking card. It says free. It says free.
Free.
Yeah. Anything that says free in Magic is good, especially one that has that high. Look at 5. Go get a creature or a land." I remember so often looking at hands. It's like, this hand's garbage, but I got a Once Upon a Time. I'm gonna keep it.
Keep it.
Yeah.
So those, I might be missing something else, but those are the two obvious ones.
Emery, Gilded Goose.
Emery took some time.
Mystic Sanctuary.
Fuck yeah, I love that card. Dwarven Mine.
Yes. That one's
I didn't put that together.
Indomitable Creativity in there too.
Brazen Borrow. Excellent card. Super well designed.
Yes.
Very fair and balanced. Same with the Giant.
Bone Crusher Giant.
Bone Crusher Giant.
Yep.
Murderous Rider also on that level.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I loved about this set. These adventure cards that were just like great. They were great.
Oh, they're awesome.
Almost all the adventure cards.
Super well designed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I really loved them. Like the bounce back utility and the creatures on the back end felt a little bit worse than the spells, and I honestly preferred that for most of them. Well, at least Brazen Borrow is a 3/1. It can only block flyers, or Murderous Rider's a 2/3. They see they're just balanced really well. They're really comfortably balanced.
I might be talking on my ass here, but it feels like to me it felt like the creatures were better on the back end, or the creatures were better than the spells in this set, but vice versa in the new Throne.
Oh, Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah.
The spells. I don't even remember.
I would have to line them all up, but just off of what I'm thinking in my mind.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything. I haven't looked at much of Wilds, but and there's some other there's a lot of really good notable cards.
Fires of Invention was another card that I was like, this is a huge mistake. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, this is so dangerous. Why are you printing these cards?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, there's Drown in the Loch.
Fantastic.
That's a huge power player, especially for Death Shadow. Really loves that card.
Great design.
Yep. Mystical Dispute is an awesome blue-white control response card. It's very valuable sideboard.
Great card. Just a little iffy on it. The design of it.
We saw one of our first really insane tutor cards in a while, Wishclaw Talisman.
Yes.
That's seen bans in different formats, quite a few different formats. I personally really love Deafening Silence. I love that enchantment.
Yes,
That card's great.
that was a big hate card.
Yep. Stone Coil Serpent. I think that sees some playing Hardened Scales, maybe. I
At
know
least
for a
did,
while it was
yeah.
like it was really great because you could just start
Mhm.
beating down with this big, untouchable creature basically.
That card would never exist in the past,
Yeah.
where it's X equals X.
Yeah.
So it's just
You're paying mana for
yeah.
power.
And then it has a bunch of keywords tacked onto it. It's
Yeah.
just like it kills you everything or kills your opponent really
Oh, yeah.
good.
And then that makes me think of moving to the next one, questing beast. The fucking wall of text on that thing. Bam, 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 bam. You know what gets through the one ring? Questing beast.
Every time you read that card, it gets a new line of text or has a new mechanic on it.
Haste can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Damage cannot be prevented by this creature or something like that. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals much damage to each planeswalker they control.
So haste, I want to say it has trample too. It doesn't. It's not just haste on that top line.
Of course it is. And can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
Alright, let's see how well you did. What was it? Questing Beast?
Yep.
I just got a few of those when I went to Gen Con.
It's got Vigilance and Death Touch.
Okay, so it's even crazier.
Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
I'll
Combat
give you
damage
another
that would
3.
be dealt by creatures you control. No, it's better than just it being able to deal combat damage.
Yeah.
Because if they one ring and you swing with all of your creatures, they all get in.
Yes. And it has haste. So.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
When it deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to
doesn't-
target planeswalker that player. Okay.
Yeah, this card is. That was another one of the cards where it's just like.
You read it, you're like, what the fuck? What is this? So you get Oko, Once Upon a Time, Questing Beast, Brazen Borrower, all coming out in those 4 right there. Imagine you just sleeve up each of those.
That's
as 4
standard
of.
deck.
That's a standard deck.
And Gilded Goose
Yeah.
to ramp into them.
Yeah. Yep.
Cauldron Familiar, that was in Witch's Oven. That's pretty good little tricksy combo sacrifice effect.
Yep.
Mystic Sanctuary. I mean, that's gonna get banned in Modern. I love that card so much.
That deck list I watched you play, I remember standing behind your shoulder watching you play it, and I was like, this might be the hottest blue-white control deck I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was a blue-white control list with counterbalance in Modern.
Yeah.
And
you're playing Terminus. Yeah.
And I would. It was. I was
nasty.
running hot. I was running real hot, but it was filthy.
It was disgusting because you'd leave a fucking Flooded Strand up and they go to cast them and you're like, response, fetch, get a Mystic Sanctuary, put my thing back on top, counter it. It's like, what the? You getting a counterspell out of a fetch land?
Yeah, the whole concept of like counterbalance. I don't think WotC ever wants that to be good or even like a viable fucking archetype in Modern.
I hope so. That might be one of my favorite enchantments ever. I love counterbalance.
I want I love playing that. It felt so dirty doing it. Mm-hmm. Like it demoralizes opponents. It's just filthy. Like I never really played it much in Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I played against it. I always did pretty fucking well against it. Like a lot of these Joeless set wannabes who I'd beat because of it. But yeah, filthy.
That makes me want to play Merit. Yeah, I want to try putting that. Maybe see if I can put that deck list together in Legacy.
Witching Well, I think
Witching Well saw play with the Urza deck for a little while. It was like a pretty efficient scry engine. So
Feasting Troll King gets featured a little bit later with Asmo.
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah.
Charming Prince sees some play in more of the Death and Taxes style builds. Mm-hmm. Same with Hushbringer, but Hushbringer definitely sees more play in quite a few different varieties. There's such
I played it in Hammer Time for a while.
yeah. There's such an interesting interactions with it. I remember one that was like, I was hoping something would come of it was Hushbringer Croxa once Theros comes out.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just being able to slam it into play for free. So, but yeah,
That's a hell of a set. I mean,
and
wow.
then the castles, Ardenvale, Garenbrig, Lochthwain, and Vantris. I don't think the red one really did anything. But the rest of them, especially Garenbrig was very good for prime time because it let them go straight into 6.
I didn't like it existing.
Yeah.
I was very afraid of that card.
Yeah.
The other one's all pretty cool.
Lochthwain, I like that one a lot. That one's super balanced. I play that one often, and like Scarab God, black decks really could use that. Ardenvale is a very cool, like super late game. I'm running out of options. I'm just gonna start making 1/1s.
My friend Robert, he played a Pioneer event with that. It was like a mono black deck at the time, like aggro mono black deck. Your top end was Rankle, and he played an opponent, and he went Rankle Master of Prankles, and I think he was like swinging for lethal or something. His opponent was fucking pissed. And I remember him telling me, he's like, I said Rankle Master of Prankles, and like the people next to me all thought it was funny. My opponent fucking hated me.
Yeah, Rankle's pretty sweet. It's a cool creature.
Oh, and Oko. Piece of shit.
Oh, we didn't even talk about him. Yeah, we didn't talk about him because he's the black sheep of the fucking family here. Oko,
wait, there's nothing
what
after
the
October?
hell? Oh shit, no. But
Okay.
that's it. Pretty much for the end of the year. I didn't see any GPs past that or anything like that.
Yeah,
So.
but
yeah, Oko, Beta Modern's existence. That card should never existed. It needed so many different changes of it to even be like wildly considered for print. Even now, it's banned in what Modern Legacy, and it's restricted in Vintage. I think it might be. It's stupidly powerful in Canlander. I remember talking to Riley Riley about it, and he's like, yeah, every time I slam it, I just win. I'm like, yep, makes sense.
yeah, it's one of those cards in Canadian Highlanders. Like, if you have the colors, you play it.
You play it, yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Ban list. Ban restricted. Let's see. That's modern. Bullshit list.
Vintage. Oko. Keep going on. Oko. Oh.
Nope.
No Oko. Okay.
Oh no, Ko.
Oko is...
I didn't think he was restricted in Vintage.
Yeah, I was wrong about that, but I know he's banned in Legacy and Modern.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Pioneer.
Yeah.
And Standard.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
In case you're playing time period standards. Like, yeah. If block constructed still existed, you can guarantee it'd be banned in that. One set block constructed. Emery, fantastic card. I know a lot of people who love that card.
That card is such a cool tool. It's just like one of those utility creatures that is stupidly cool. Like really well designed.
It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Yeah. And then we already saw Dominaria, so Mox Amber now is,
which I'm sure people are already playing around with.
This is the first okay, this is might do something.
Opal is still in the format at this time.
True. So you're gonna play that over.
Yeah, which we will see next year. A lot of the Urza Oko decks that are running just blue-green fucking artifact food, a little bit of Thopter combo, just
everything going on.
Yeah, it's nasty. This next year is like, I remember playing competitively, like we did an NRG, and I tried to play Burn, and I was like, I needed to play 4 Skullcracks main board because there were too many food tokens on the field. Yeah, way too many food. The Gilded Goose was gilded, like when your opponent goes turn 1 Gilded Goose. I remember that year just being like, oh fuck.
One card you didn't put on it, but it's a Pioneer card that was very important in Throne. It was like one of the most expensive cards in the set. Fabled Passage.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't put it in because I just figured we got Prismatic Vista and the fetches, so
It
it was
wasn't
modern. It
relevant.
has no relevance. But
Prismatic
yes,
Vista was a Modern Horizon
yeah,
card.
yeah.
Let's look at that real quick. We touched on a lot of the important cards, and I'm
Horizons.
sure we're gonna touch on more.
Yeah, that's over on the right side.
Renaissance.
No, there it is.
Where?
To the right of your cursor directly.
What just happened?
There you go. Your scroll wheel's unlocked.
Let's go to money. That's what I like to see.
Full art Snowlands got printed in the set.
Snow got brought back.
Yep.
A lot of people were predicting that.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
it got back again in Kaldheim, so which was no biggie.
What is happening? Okay. Snowlands.
Sword and Truth and Justice.
The swords haven't done anything. More
play. Echo is I love that card. That might be my favorite card of the whole set.
That's a bold statement. That's never really popped up in modern. The other both swords haven't done anything in modern.
Yeah.
Yawgmoth, sleeper for a while. I think it's finally gonna see its true day.
Oh yeah.
Based off of the challenges and the moto things I've seen so far, might be its chance.
Morafon's a funny card. Mox Tantalite, yeah.
Mox Tantalite, give it time. It saw a little bit of play at one point, but something will break it.
I played a little bit on Bomb Foraging, but I can't remember what it was in.
Goblin Engineer, really well designed card.
Yep. Eladamri's Call. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, so in this set they also took some older cards and then reprinted them in this set to bring them into modern.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, this is a big one. Flusterstorm. That was the
buy a box
promo. Yeah, buy a box promo.
Damn.
Yeah.
That one a lot of people called. Everybody was prepared for that.
Mm-hmm. Sunbaked Canyon. Yeah. Yeah, the Canopy Lands too. God, this set is just insane. Hall of Helios, Generosity, Archmage's Charm, Alter Dementia.
Archmage's Charm. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at this set. I'm going, fuck, man, this might actually be one of my favorite sets ever. Just, I love a lot of the power levels. I love a lot of what cards are doing.
Yes.
Crashing Footfalls.
That gets its heyday eventually.
Yeah.
Winds of Abandon. God, I love that card. That card's so cool.
That's $3.
Yeah. You gotta pick up 1,000,000 of those things. They're so damn.
I picked them up because I was like, it's a pretty decent Wrath.
Yeah.
And Hex Drinker. Hasn't seen a lot of play. Underrated for a long time too.
I fucked up Brandon with one of those.
I got fucked up. Ryan Brown killed me with one at the fucking Canadian Highlander. Yeah. He top decked it and he looked at his lands and he
was like, tap out.
Yeah, and he just made it protection from instants, and I went, fuck, okay, I have 4 answers here. Yeah. I digged like 10 cards in my goddamn deck of 100.
Yeah.
Didn't find it.
Collector Oof.
That's another huge glass bullet.
Yep.
Glass bullet? Silver bullet.
One right below it.
Even the tokens were cool in the set. Ephemerate.
Yeah.
Unsettled Mariner started getting played in humans.
Very good. Very good tribal card.
I love the Mage series.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, those
they
are cool.
Finished it. Plague Engineer.
Fallen Shinobi saw some play. Something.
Dude, retro frame foil Plague Engineers are only like
$1.50.
Dude, I'm getting those. Those look so badass. How did I not know about that? Why didn't you tell me that? This is all your fault.
Pay attention to releases anymore. Soul Hoarder.
Wow. they did the Horizon lands dirty.
They did.
Man.
Those could have been the next fetches.
Just the price of them. Look at a fucking $1.40 for them.
All the talismans too.
Fiery Islets are $2, or not even $2.
They just got reprinted in the Doctor Who set.
I know, it's just brutal to look at. And a lot of like EDH, like flavorful Kess getting brought into modern. It was a little too late for her, but I was excited to see that.
Yeah. Some
fixed like reserveless cards.
Scale up.
Yep.
Genius Infiltrator. What did that? I was seeing him play with something.
Maybe the blue black ninja deck in Legacy.
Oh, yeah, that could be it. Yeah, yeah. On Thin Ice, I know that seems in play a little bit.
A little bit.
Carrion
I
Feeder
thought that
in
was going to
Modern?
be a way bigger player than it was.
Yeah.
I was very wrong. Carrion Feeder getting brought into Modern helped Hogak a lot.
Of course, Hogak.
Gakken.
Weather the Storm. Oh, that card's good. That card's really good. Popper staple.
Some of these cards are really cheap because it's just open. So
Kaya's
much.
Guile. I love that card.
That was such a weird card too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a cycle. It's like, why is she getting a command card? Didn't make a lot of sense to me. The slivers. It's weird seeing slivers being this cheap. It just shows you how much the set was open. Yeah. Ice Fang Coital. Yeah, some of these cards are way cheaper than
I've still got 40 copies of Ariel Flame.
Just keep holding,
Yeah.
baby. Hold strong.
Diamond hands.
Diamond hands.
Ugh.
Ice Fang Coital is 60 cents. Man, I fucking overpaid for so much of this shit.
Scrapyard Recombiner for a little bit.
That's a cool one. I love that. That's really good. Another card in my Canadian Highlander deck. That's very good.
Yeah. Regrowth.
Yeah, great reprint. This was
Dead of Winter.
People saw this. They were like, "Okay, so can we get Counterspell? Like, is that a real thing? Can we get that?" Mm-hmm. Everybody's wishing for it.
And the next one. Shenanigans. Fairy Seer. Popper staple.
I love that card too.
Goblin Matron into Modern.
Oh,
Sling Gang
Lieutenant.
Gang. And yep. And
Lava Dart.
This put goblins back on the map for Modern.
They tried to do a land deck with like Tectonic Reformation. And then they printed the Cycle lands, which was big news when it first dropped. Mm-hmm. Just never really did anything.
Spore Frog.
Spore Frog.
Wall Blossoms. Squirrel Nest. Magmatic Sinkhole's really good. Yeah, that's actually like a good card.
So just a set, it's just like almost every other card is.
Planesbound Apprentice has some combos. Putrid Goblin enabled combos and Popper.
I'm talking about Modern here, son.
I know, but like all these cards are so good. Munitions Expert. Wow.
Yeah.
Throws of Chaos. That was that's seen played in the Legacy Creative Technique deck. Factor Fiction. Imposter, the 6 Pride, being a shapeshifter, changeling, 3/1. It's actually very strong for 2 mana. Yeah, Nether Spirit. Icehide Golem, the 1 mana, or 2/2.
Yeah, I never did anything though. Yeah, some Arkham Slaves are 8 cents. Market price 8 cents. And
$2.
I think they only have one printing.
Yep.
All versions.
The list.
Imagine if they unbanned that. Would it go up to $4?
I hope so. I still got a bunch of them.
Yeah, shit off them.
I know.
Reckless Charge is a cool reprint. Fireball.
String of Disappearance is a cool printing. I like that card. Stream of Thought. I really like that card. Stream of Thoughts are really, really interesting.
Battle Screech was not on our radar, but
yeah,
it was.
That was
tanked the price of that card.
Yeah. Pillage.
Another great reprint.
Yep.
A lot of these reprints were past their due date, though. They were very safe, like Man of War and Pillage, things like that, where there's already cards that are better options in that slot. Yes, they're a little more modal. They just never were gonna be an option. Like Umazawa's Charm, like we see what you're doing there. It's not gonna do anything. Urza's Rage, not gonna do anything.
Yeah. Pondering Mage.
Oh, Everdream was a very cool design, but yeah, it was Time Spiral again, and some things hit too hard. Uh, let's go to the old questions.
Yeah, that's what we got left, pretty much, right? Because we finished the year.
Don't look at that.
Kind of ran through. It's a secret project for another stream.
Best deck of the year. Go.
I mean, Hogak.
All right. Best card entering the format.
Hogak.
All right. Best non-degenerate card entering the format. All right. Better way. Oh. What's your favorite card entering the format? Like design wise.
That's hard. There was a lot of really good cards released this year. I think I have to give it to something in Modern Horizons just because that format was so like titular to kind of reshaping what Modern became after that. I honestly think it might be Ranger Captain of Eos. It's pretty up there.
That's a fair answer.
I really like that card. It's super balanced, has such interesting interactions with like the sacking abilities, and then your 1-drop range is just insane. Mm-hmm. Like you have so many good 1-drops you can get. So,
I like Force of Negation a lot. As much shit as I give free magic and that, I think that's they designed Force of Will right. I've never sat. Well, that's definitely not true. I have sat across from in a game where I feel like Force of Negation is not good, but I don't like Force of Negation. But that's honestly only like I think when my opponent is using other free magic. When it's like
when it's like you're 2 for 1 and they're 1 for 1 or whatever.
Violent Outburst.
Oh yeah.
Or they're using the other evoke creatures on my turn. Mm-hmm. That's when I stopped liking Force of Negation because they're doing their thing on my turn, their combo or whatever, and I'm getting fucking punished for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little blemish on it, and then I mean a lot of shit in Modern Horizons it really hits hard for me, whether or not it's designed to. I think they're all pretty in a vacuum. They're all pretty cool cards, and they're really decently designed. It's just like once you put them in a format, and it didn't seem like you really play tested it much.
Yeah.
Then it fucks everything up.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many good cards in that set, and just the way they implemented all of it at once. Wonder if there were some design choices they could have done better.
So here's the evidence that they didn't. So they talk about their fuck up with Oko was the point where they went, we're gonna make a dedicated play testing team for standard. They hadn't they just starting to put those resources in the standard, and then like a few months later. Or in a few months before that, Modern Horizons. So we know Modern Horizons didn't really get a lot of fucking games jammed.
Right.
It's not like they're scrutinizing it and playing it that much. They theory crafted, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But fucking things fell through.
Yeah.
And
the limited environment, I actually enjoyed the limited environment more, I think, in Modern Horizons 1.
I don't remember it much.
I played quite a bit of it, and it's very balanced actually. Like you have quite a few different archetypes you can go into, and there's a lot of good synergies, and like Hogak is actually a reasonable card in the limited format. But yeah, I would agree that I think I mean, we've said this before about the straight to modern print decks or formats where it's like the opportunity for playtesting probably just isn't there as much as it is for standard sets.
Well, internally, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But So they're just throwing these cards in the format without testing them.
Mhm.
Modern Horizon 2, you've learned the lesson. You thrown over or thrown in Modern Horizon 1 comes out, and then you have about 2 years before Modern Horizons 2 comes out.
Mhm.
So that's the whole development of that set. You freshly learn the lessons. You should be fucking playtesting that set. Yet here's the evoke creatures. And I think the evoke creatures took a little while to get real degenerate,
Mhm.
but grief scam was there. Scam, like, nobody really played it, but it took a while to evolve, but
Yeah, yeah. It was like Bowmasters that pushed it just over that edge.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then some of the new
I,
feign death spells.
yeah, those dime a dozen. I remember playing it before either of those things, and I went, "This deck." I had the bit. I was 4-0ing more than I had 4-0'd in a while. I was
Mhm.
like, "This deck is very fucking
Mhm.
good." And then I think it just escalated with more popularity, and
Yeah,
the pro tour, the pro tour gave it a lot of attention.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh, sorry. New arrival deck.
I mean, like, let's go with the one that's what's a little bit different. What's your favorite arrival deck besides Hogak that comes in this year? I mean, I don't know if there were really a lot.
The Urza decks. I don't
Yeah, like it was
know.
out of the
They're
new
all based
cards.
around degenerate shit.
Out of the new cards, we really only saw like an Urza deck and then the Hogak decks pop up in tournament play at least.
It feels like a lot of it nowadays, like the last year, 2 years, is like, what's okay? Cards enter the format. What's the most degenerate fucking thing now?
Yeah,
It's no longer like, oh, I can fit this into my modern deck now. This is an upgrade to this one card. It's just like, oh, you broke it here. Okay, let's do this.
yeah,
You
broke
broke it
it.
here.
Switch the deck. Yeah, next one.
All right, the blue red decks, all blue decks go to Arclight Phoenix.
Yep.
Okay, all graveyard or like dredge decks in.
Mhm.
Okay, Hogak gets or Bridge from Blue is banned. We alter that. Boom.
I know what my new arrival deck is, or my favorite new arrival deck. Or I guess it's not new arrival deck. That's not true. I was gonna say the Mardu slash Orzov Death Shadow deck.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah,
Yep.
I love that deck.
Yeah, okay, we win. We win that answer.
There we go.
It's starting to feel like a fucking escalation of an arms race.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. So
Every set, this is where we start feeling that rotation.
yeah,
The Arclight pushes shit out, then you get Hogak pushing shit out, then you get Urza pushing shit out. It's just
Urza Oko pushing shit out, then Uro pushing shit out, and then I don't even know what comes after that. Ikoria into Kaldheim into Zendikar Rising.
Kaldheim pushing shit out.
Pushing shit out. Yeah, and then MH2 hits.
Completely revamp the format.
Yep. So then MH3 is going to drop what next year? Next year or the year after?
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
Next year, dude. It's in months.
Yeah, you're right. They put it into quadrant or quarters now or something.
It's in months.
Yeah.
It's like 6 or 8 months.
Jesus
no, it's probably at the end of the year.
Anyway, health of this format 1 through 10.
Well,
let's go
garbage.
pre and post Hogak.
Even pre Hogak, it's not good.
Really?
It's Arclight and Dredge, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
The graveyard, you have to have strong graveyard hate. Almost white base graveyard hate to tax it.
Yeah, I thought that at least like the popular density of decks, it seemed like there were some events where it looked like there was a lot better spread of deck differences. But yeah, as far as like health of the format, I'd say like pre Hogak, it's like maybe a 3.5, and then like post Hogak, like a 2.
Yeah.
So
the 4 words: surgical extraction main deck.
yeah.
that ain't a healthy format.
Yeah.
You're putting sideboard cards, your
Yeah.
main deck and sideboard hit like that. Not that's not going to be a healthy format. Period. That's automatically putting you at least a 5. And then you like go back 4 in a top 8. It's gonna get banned. Hogak 5 in a top 8. 5 in a top 8. Come on, like
Yeah.
what are we fucking at post a banning? I can't. Yeah, it's garbage. It's like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I actually think I'd give the Hogak. Like Eldrazi Tron and Hogak, I think I would both give a 1.
You have other degenerate things going on in this format that just get buried alive because of Hogak. And it's like once Hogak goes, okay, now there's another thing that rears its ugly head that we gotta take care of. And it's just boom, 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 boom. And they preemptively did that with Arclight Phoenix. So they went, oh, Hogak buried Arclight Phoenix, but we need to preemptively ban Arclight Phoenix. We don't know what the fucking format's gonna look like after that. Then the Oko Urza shit pops up. They gotta ban shit out of that. Then they gotta ban shit out of it again. Then they gotta ban shit out like again until they get somewhat of a realistic format. And we don't really see a balanced format until later on in MH2, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's just like maybe we're missing scam the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like we've had a chance to breathe since before this year, even maybe before the year before this, like 2017.
Oh, I'd agree. Yeah, it just feels like it's just nonstop power creep. It just keeps going and going and
The
going.
downward spiral
Yeah.
really started.
Yeah. Why are you playing that card? What card?
Caustic Caterpillar in the main deck.
That's the one I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, what card were we talking about earlier? That was like a weird question.
I got another one that you're not gonna like.
Huh.
Hex Parasite. What the fuck is that attacking, dude? What's it? What counters exist in this format?
Planeswalkers.
Planeswalkers?
Just gonna kill Planeswalker.
What Planeswalkers?
Round 6.
There are no Planeswalkers in that format. That Hogak format? 0.
I think it's kind of I think it's funny, but yeah, I could kind of see it. Where it's like there's a reason why it's a 1-of too. So yeah, but, yeah, like Cost Caterpillar X Parasite, that makes sense. But yeah,
Downward Spiral. One thing I wish we had a little bit more time to do was compare this. We need to compare this year to some other years on the degeneracy, and then like the next year's gonna be a big one on seeing that just fucking
what happens?
The rotation of the format as banning just pick up, and
Yeah,
we got to get this goes so this rears its ugly head. This goes boom 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 boom.
right.
It just never felt like that. I was like, oh, we're gonna ban something at the beginning of the year, which is a big one, and then maybe something else to kind of clean things up a bit.
Yeah, I would like to do more on this year. I think we should do more, especially revolving around the era of like Modern Horizons. You know, what came right before, what came right after, what did the formats look like? What does it look like compared to, you know, like what does the play of the format feel like? Like how does it feel to play Modern, you know, as a format? So, but
yeah. Turn 4. Throw that out the window. Get Hogak.
What's the new rule? Don't get gacked.
All right.
Don't get gacked. That's the advice for the week.
I think this one's in the book.
Yep.
Hogak. What was it? Hogak. Not winter. Hogak summer. Hogak summer. Hogak fall. Hogak.
I don't know.
So
some Hogak summer, I think. Yeah, it was Hogak summer. Yeah. Because it came out in August, or no.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah. Came out in July. No, June. June, and then got banned in August. Hogak summer.
Hogak summer.
Yep.
Eldrazi winter. Hogak summer. We got 2 more seasons that we need to fuck up.
Yeah.
This is the coast.
Yep.
When is Modern Horizon 3?
I think it's in the spring.
It comes out. I think it comes out in the winter.
Oh,
I
shit.
kind of think.
Okay, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll get a spring sometime soon.
Yeah.
Something spring. So.
Welcome to the downward spiral. Have a good night, everyone. Catch you next episode.
Goodbye.